How do you see, and what does seeing mean to you?
Well, seeing still means the usual thing to me, but the way I try and see things is probably different than other people who can see.
Right.
So I rely tremendously on my hearing. Tremendously, and I'll give you a couple of examples. One example is that on my computer I have what is called talking software or screen reading software, and I use that at home and at work on my computer, and at work I put an earpiece in my ear so nobody else can hear it, and it reads whatever it is that I am typing, and it reads whatever is on the screen to me, and so I can hear that. And I also rely on, I had another example, and I can't think of it at the moment. There was another example. When I'm traveling by myself with my guide dog, I have to rely on my hearing in order to decide whether or not it is safe to cross the street. So because I need to give my guide dog the command to cross the street, and if it is not safe to cross the street, she will disobey me, and I believe the term is intelligent disobedience. So she'll disobey me. So I need to rely on my hearing as to, knowing whether it's safe or not. And there are audible traffic signals that I need to rely to hear on my hearing. So I rely an awful lot on my hearing. Oh, and the other example I have for that is in my office. When somebody comes in the office, unless they say something, I don't know. I might not necessarily know that they're there, except in my office there is a little bell that rings when they come in. But I still, even though the bell rings, I still don't know who it is.
Right.
So I have asked people if they could announce themselves when they come into my office, and they'll say, oh, hi Carolyn, it's Bill, or they'll just say hello, and usually I can, recognize people's voices, but sometimes when there's a lot of noise in the office, I do have trouble. So I ask them to announce their names or announce themselves when they come in, and it just helps me tremendously, because there may be something that I need to ask them or something like that. So I find that tremendously helpful. So another way that I see is through tactile, through touch. And one of the things that I do is when I'm in my house, I have certain things on my dresser: perfume, hand cream, eye drops, different things like that. I've learned to recognize what each thing is by the shape of the bottle. So of course perfume I could also smell, because it's another way that I see is through my sense of smell. But I've learned to feel the bottle, and if I have bottles that are similar in shape, say like in the shower, I use the same conditioner and shampoo from the same company, and what I'll do is I will put a rubber band on one of them and keep them in the same place, so I know that that's them. So there are, touching the rubber band, I know that that's the shampoo that I use. So, and even in the refrigerator with certain things, like I will try and buy milk in a plastic bottle as opposed to like a carton, because there are other things in my refrigerator that are in cartons, and so I know that that is the milk. So I use touch a lot. When I'm getting dressed, so that I know what's the back of my shirt and whether or not the shirt's inside out, I will feel for the label. Now they don't have labels, they have a little stamp, so I really have to feel that, and then I'll know that that's the back of the shirt. I'll realize that it's, inside out or not inside out. So I really rely on touch as well, and as I said before, I do rely on my sense of smell. When we walk into town, I can tell that I'm close to the pizza place because I can smell the pizza. When we went to the mall, there used to be a certain coffee shop that I used to go to, and I could tell I was getting close to it because I could smell the coffee. So yeah, so I do really rely on my other senses quite a lot for, and I rely on my guide dog, of course, also as well. So she's my eyes that, if there's an obstacle in my way, she will move around or stop. So that's how I basically see for the most part.